All right, everyone, welcome back to the Deep Dive, where we dig into all sorts of interesting stuff. And today we're going to be talking about something I think a lot of people have thought about at one time or another, and that is, how to sell your house fast, how to get cash for your house.
Exactly.
Maybe skip some of the headaches of traditional real estate.
Right.
And that's something that we're going to be looking at today. Specifically, we're going to be honing in on Elgin, Texas, and how individuals there can sell their homes quickly and easily for cash.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, full disclosure, we're employees of Sell That House to Me. We're a company that helps people do exactly that.
That's right.
So, yeah, we're going to be diving into a bunch of interesting information about Elgin, the real estate market there, and how Sell That House to Me can be a solution for people who need to move quickly.
Yeah, and if you're already thinking, hey, this sounds pretty interesting, I want to see what my house is worth, head over to sellthathouse2me.com.
Yeah, that's sellthathouse2me.com. You can go there, get a free, no-obligation cash offer for your home.
Exactly, see what you're working with.
All right, so let's start off by talking about Elgin itself. It's a pretty unique place, right?
Oh, absolutely. Elgin has a fascinating history. It was settled back in the 1870s, and its growth was really tied to the arrival of the railroads and then the success of local farming.
I see.
Nowadays, Elgin is a really charming, kind of a quaint exurb just east of Austin.
Right. Yeah, I've heard it described that way a few times.
And it's really become known for its delicious sausage.
Oh, absolutely. The
Yeah.
sausage is fantastic, yeah. If you're ever in the area, definitely check that out.
You've got to try the sausage.
But, beyond that small town charm and the proximity to a big city like Austin, we've been seeing some trends in the Elgin real estate market that indicate it's not always the fastest moving market.
Yeah, that's true.
From what we've seen in early 2025, data suggests that homes in Elgin can sometimes take quite a while to sell.
Yeah, it can vary, but we're looking at something like 55 to 75 days on average. Which, for some people, that's not a big deal, but for others, that could be a real sticking point if they need to move quickly.
Right, exactly. And, there are a lot of factors at play here, right? I mean, Elgin's market can be a little sensitive to seasonal changes.
Absolutely.
The broader economic climate can have an impact as well.
Yeah, buyer confidence can really fluctuate, and that can have a ripple effect on how quickly homes sell.
Right. And that's where I think a solution like Sell That House to Me can really shine, because you guys come in as a direct buyer and you offer folks a way to basically sidestep a lot of that uncertainty.
Exactly, and that's exactly what we aim to do. We're local to Elgin, and we provide a really straightforward cash deal.
Okay, so break that down for me. What makes Sell That House to Me different from, say, listing your house with a traditional real estate agent?
Well, the biggest difference is that we eliminate a lot of the complexity and the time that's usually involved in selling a house.
I see.
With us, it's a simple cash transaction.
Yeah.
No hidden fees, no contingencies.
Straightforward.
It's designed for people who need to sell quickly, and they don't want to deal with the hassle of the traditional process.
Right, because, if you think about it, listing your house, you got to get it ready for showings.
Right.
You got to deal with open houses, negotiations back and forth.
Yep, all of that.
That can drag on for months.
Exactly. And all of that can be really stressful, and for some people, it's just not an option.
All right, so let's walk through the process with you, Rado. Sell that house to me.
Yeah.
Someone in Elgin decides, hey, I need to sell my house fast. What's the first step?
Well, the first step is really easy. Just reach out to us either through our website or give us a call.
Okay, and then what happens?
Then we'll gather some basic information about your property.
Okay.
Things like the address, the square footage, the number of bedrooms and bathrooms, that sort of thing. And then based on that information, we'll put together a competitive cash proposal for your property.
Okay, so there's no obligation at that point.
None at all. It's just an initial proposal to give you an idea of what we might be able to offer.
All right, and what about repairs? Do people need to fix up their houses before they sell to you guys?
Absolutely not. We buy houses as is.
Okay.
So you don't need to worry about making any repairs or renovations before we make you an offer.
Wow, that takes a lot of the pressure off.
Yeah, a lot of people are really relieved to hear that.
Right, because, renovations can be really time-consuming,
Oh, yeah.
expensive, and honestly kind of a headache.
Exactly. And
Right.
we understand that. So we take that burden off of your shoulders.
And then what about things like realtor commissions and closing costs? Do sellers have to pay those when they work with men? Sell that house to me.
Nope. We cover all of that.
You cover all of that.
We handle the closing costs, and there are no realtor commissions to worry about.
Wow, that can really add up.
Oh, absolutely. It can save sellers thousands of dollars.
So not only are you getting a cash offer, but you're also saving money on all those extra fees.
Exactly. That's right.
So, okay, let's talk about speed.
Yeah.
We've been saying sell your house fast, but how fast are we really talking about? What kind of timeline can people expect with you sell that house to me?
Well, we aim for really quick closing times.
Okay.
In many cases, we can close the deal and get you your cash in as little as 7 days.
7 days? That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot faster than the traditional real estate process, which, as we mentioned, can drag on for months.
Right, and I imagine that speed is really appealing to people who are in certain situations.
Absolutely. We work with a lot of people who are facing, time-sensitive circumstances.
Right, like what kind of circumstances are we talking about?
Well, sometimes people are facing foreclosure and they need to sell their house quickly to avoid losing it.
That's got to be incredibly stressful.
Oh, it is. It's a really tough situation to be in, and we try to help people get out of it as quickly and painlessly as possible.
I see.
We also work with people who are going through a divorce.
Okay.
And they need to sell their house to divide the assets or just to move on with their lives. And then there are folks who are relocating for work, and they need to sell their house before they move to a new city.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And, sometimes people inherit a house that they don't want or they can't afford to keep up.
Right.
And selling it for cash can be a really good solution in those situations.
Yeah, it gives them a clean break and they can move on.
Exactly.
So, okay, let's say someone contacts, sell that house to me,
Mm-hmm.
and you guys do that initial review of the property. What's the next step?
Well, once we have a good understanding of the property and its condition, we'll present you with a no-obligation cash offer.
Okay.
And that offer is based on a number of factors, including the current market conditions in Elgin,
Okay.
recent sales of comparable properties in the area, and, of course, the condition of your house.
So you're taking all of that into account to come up with a fair offer.
Exactly. We want to make sure that the offer is fair to both parties.
Right. And what if the seller says, hey, I like your offer, I want to move forward? What happens then?
Well, then we move into the closing process. And because we're a cash buyer, we can close really quickly.
Okay.
There's no need to wait for mortgage approvals or anything like that.
That's a huge time saver.
Oh, absolutely. And we handle all the paperwork and everything, so it's a really smooth process for the seller.
So basically they just sit back, relax, and wait for the cash to hit their account.
Pretty much. Yeah, we're trying to make it as easy as possible.
I think it's really interesting, this idea of prioritizing speed and convenience and certainty
Yeah.
over maybe trying to squeeze every last dollar out of a sale on the open market.
Right. It's a trade-off, for sure.
Yeah. But for a lot of people, especially those who are in those time-sensitive situations that we were talking about earlier,
Yeah.
that trade-off is more than worth it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, think about it. You're avoiding all the stress and uncertainty of the traditional process.
Right.
You're not having to worry about your house sitting on the market for months.
Right,
And you're
yeah.
getting a guaranteed cash offer.
It's peace of mind.
It is, exactly. It's peace of mind. And for a lot of people, that's priceless.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Now, we've been talking about this in kind of a general sense, but do you have any specific examples of how Sell That House to Me has helped people in Elgin?
Oh, yeah, we've got tons of stories.
Okay, well, give me a couple. Let's hear about some real people who have benefited from this service.
Okay, well, there was this guy, Pete S. from County Line.
Okay.
He had a rental property that wasn't doing so well. He called it his Sausage Fest flop.
Sausage Fest flop. Okay, I like that.
He needed to get rid of it quickly, and he didn't want to put any more money into it.
I see.
So he contacted us, and we were able to give him a fair cash offer and close the deal in just a couple of weeks.
Wow, so he was able to get out from under that property without having to deal with any more headaches.
Exactly. He was really happy with the outcome.
That's great. And do you have another example?
Yeah, we also worked with a woman named Tara R. from Elm Creek.
Okay.
She was commuting to Austin every day for work.
Oof, I bet that got old.
Oh, it was brutal. And it was taking a toll on her. So she decided to sell her house in Elgin and move closer to the city.
Yeah.
And we were able to buy her house quickly for cash so she could make that move without any delays.
I bet she was thrilled.
Oh, she was over the moon. She said it was a huge weight off her shoulders.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And just one more example if you've got one.
Yeah, we helped a guy named Mike P. from Shenandoah.
Okay.
He had inherited a house from his parents,
I see.
but it was in pretty rough shape, and he didn't have the time or the money to fix it up.
Right.
So he decided to sell it to us as is, and we were able to close really quickly.
So he was able to get some cash for that inherited property without having to deal with all the hassle of renovations and repairs.
Exactly. He said it was a huge relief.
That's great. So it sounds like Sell That House to Me has really made a positive impact on a lot of people's lives in Elgin.
Yeah, we really try to be a solution for people who are facing tough situations or who just want a simpler way to sell their house.
Now, I know we've been talking specifically about Elgin,
Hmm.
but do you guys buy houses in other areas as well?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We buy houses all over Central Texas.
Right.
Places like Bastrop Boston Manor, Taylor McDade, Hornby, Lexington.
Wow, so pretty much the whole region.
Yeah, we're pretty much all over Central Texas.
Okay, so if you're listening to this and you're in any of those areas and you're thinking, hey, I need to sell my house fast,
Yeah,
sell that house to me could be a good option for you.
exactly. We'd love to hear from you.
And, before we wrap up, I just want to go over some of the common questions that people have about sell that house to me.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Just to clarify a few things. So first of all, how fast can you really make an offer?
Well, in most cases, we can make a cash offer within 24 hours of reviewing the property.
Okay, so it's really that quick.
Yeah, we move pretty fast.
And what about the offer itself? How do you determine what's fair?
Well, we take a lot of factors into account, like I mentioned before.
Hi.
The current market conditions in the area, recent sales of comparable properties, and of course the condition of the house itself. We want to make sure that the offer is in line with what the house is actually worth.
So it's not just some lowball offer.
No,
Yep.
not at all.
Yeah.
We want to make a fair offer that both parties are happy with.
And what about repairs? I know we touched on this earlier, but can you just reiterate that for the folks at home?
Sure, we buy houses as is, so you don't have to make any repairs or renovations before we buy your house.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And what about foreclosure? Can you help people who are facing foreclosure?
Yes, we can. We've helped a lot of people in that situation.
Okay.
We can often buy their house before it goes into foreclosure, and that can help them avoid a lot of the negative consequences.
That's got to be a huge relief for those folks.
Oh, it is. It can really be a lifesaver.
And what about inherited properties? Can you help people sell those quickly?
Absolutely. We understand that inherited properties can be a bit tricky.
Right.
Sometimes there's probate involved and there can be a lot of paperwork.
Right.
But we're experienced in handling all of that, and we can make the process really smooth and easy for the seller.
Okay, great. And one last question. What about divorce? Can you help people who are going through a divorce sell their house quickly?
Yes, we can. We've helped a lot of couples in that situation as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes the house is the biggest asset that they need to divide, and selling it quickly can help them move on with their lives.
Right. And it can take a lot of the stress out of a difficult situation.
Exactly.
Well, I think that covers pretty much everything.
Yeah, I think so.
So just to recap, Sell That House to Me is a company that buys houses for cash in Central Texas.
That's right.
We specialize in helping people who need to sell their houses quickly and easily.
Yep.
And we offer a fair price for your home, regardless of its condition.
And we cover all the closing costs.
Right. So there are no hidden fees or commissions to worry about.
Exactly.
And we can close in as little as 7 days.
That's right.
So if you're looking to sell your house fast and you want a hassle-free experience,
Yeah.
head over to sellthathouse2me.com.
That's sellthathouse2me.com.
And get a free, no-obligation cash offer for your home.
You might be surprised at what your house is worth.
And, as you're thinking about this,
Yeah.
think about what you could do with that cash.
Right.
Maybe you could pay off some debt.
Yeah.
Maybe you could finally take that dream vacation.
Right. Or make a down payment on a new house.
Exactly. The
They-
possibilities are endless.
They are.
Yeah.
And it all starts with getting a cash offer from sellthathouse2me.com.
That's sellthathouse2me.com.
Yeah.
So go check it out and see what your house is worth.
You won't regret it.